established Rich coming right back at you. This is one of those moments where you can't just react fast. You have to think slow. You have to feel your way through it. Sunday night at the 2026 BAFTA Awards, Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were on stage presenting an award. Big platform, global audience, formal setting, cultural moment. And then a word cut through the room. A word that ain't just offensive. A word that carries generations of pain. It came from the audience and it was loud. It wasn't scripted and it wasn't expected. And for a split second, the energy shifted.
Good evening. Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to celebrate the artists who expand what's possible on screen.
Good evening. Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to celebrate the artists who expand what's possible on screen.
What was said were highly offensive racial terms shouted out by Tourette's campaigner John Davidson, who also has the condition. The comments were shouted out while two black performers, Delroy Lindo and MichaelBJordan, were on stage. There's been a lot of reaction. Delroy Lindo has said he wished someone from BAFTA had come to speak to them after it happened. Others have said they should have been immediately apologised to after the incident. A spokesperson for Tourette's Action, a Tourette's organisation, has said that it's vital to understand that for people like John Davidson, outbursts like this are involuntary and don't reflect their thoughts or beliefs. The BBC has apologised for not editing out the comments before the programme was put out on BBC One and iPlayer, but there are still wider questions for both BAFTA and the BBC. For BAFTA, were all the right elements and procedures in place that would have been fair to John Davidson and people at the ceremony for something that wasn't highly unlikely? And similarly for the BBC, which is supposed to have procedures for dealing with this kind of scenarios, why were the comments not edited out before BBC One and iPlayer broadcasts happened? And also why it was left up on iPlayer for so long, more than 12 hours after the initial broadcast.
That moment lasted only seconds, but it didn't feel like it. Whether you saw it live or just now, you can understand why this ain't just a simple question. The man who shouted the word, John Davidson, has Tourette syndrome. Tourette's can cause involuntary verbal tics, words or sounds a person doesn't choose to say. That is the medical context, and that matters. But here's what also matters. Impact does not disappear because intent was absent. The word has history. It has blood on it. It has been used to humiliate, to degrade, to justify hate, to strip dignity. So when it's heard in a room filled with black artists and two black men are standing under the spotlight, you don't just hear a sound, you feel the weight. Now here's where this gets delicate. If a person medically cannot control a tic, you cannot turn that into malice automatically. You can't ignore somebody's disability. You can't pretend their condition don't exist. But you also can't pretend everybody in the room is supposed to feel nothing. Two things can be true. A condition can be real, and the pain can be real also. The BBC later apologized for not editing the moment in a later broadcast. BAFTA issued a statement apologizing to Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo. But here's a detail that matters to me. Delroy Lindo said he wished somebody from BAFTA would have spoken to them afterwards. That's not about punishment. That's about care. If something that heavy happens while you standing on stage, somebody should check in. Somebody should acknowledge the moment face to face, even if it was involuntary, even if it was unintentional, because dignity requires more than a press release. And then there's another question people are afraid to say out loud. BAFTA knew he had Tourette's. The audience was warned about involuntary noises. So if you know there's a possibility of a profoundly offensive word being triggered, is a live, globally televised ceremony the right event? That question is not hateful, it's practical. Inclusion matters, representation matters, but so does protection, so does preparation. When you invite someone into a high-stakes space with an unpredictable verbal condition, you have to plan if the worst-case scenario happens. And if the plan is silence, that's not a plan. Some are saying he can't help it. And medically, that may be true. Others are asking, why that word? Why that moment? And whether that doubt is fair or not, it exists.
So BAFTA sat him in front of a hot mic. Yeah, Mr. Davidson went to Variety and said, yeah, I did have concerns, like I said in my first video, that he knows he has Tourette's and everybody around him knows he has Tourette's. Maybe there should be accommodations for that, right? I don't know why people took that as he should have took his ass home. That's not said in the video at all. But then I went and also made another video saying that you should curate experiences for disabled people to exist so that they're comfortable and the people around them are as comfortable as they can be. Turns out I was right about every bit of it. Whether you want to call it a setup or not, The point still remains that he didn't have the accommodations. And you niggas started talking about segregation. Mind you, this is segregation to black people. Okay? When you talk about segregation, and that's why these people don't know who the fuck they're talking to. They are honestly illiterate when it comes to the black experience. Nor do they give a fuck. That's fine. But you're not going to sit here and gaslight us as black people. Now, Mr. Davidson is going to have to live the rest of his life for what? Now being embarrassed? On purpose? Because of what? And no, it's not his fault. Do I have to keep saying that? No, it is not his fault. It is the fault of everyone around him. BAFTA was around him. BBC, the media company, had an opportunity to edit out everything. I've been to an award show before. I know how that shit works. There's a reason why there's mics everywhere. You can literally take out the audio of everything. You can make it so that all you can hear is Delroy and MichaelBJordan on top of, and make it seem like the whole crowd was silent. You can do that. It's possible. Okay? So to sit here and gaslight us and make it seem like, oh yeah, this has nothing to do with black people. He was saying all type of shit. He was literally saying PDF file in there. And we didn't hear that. We didn't hear that at all.
Because trauma don't wait for a medical explanation. Your body reacts first. Your history reacts first. This is not a clean story. It's human. It's uncomfortable and it's complicated. Because this is where it gets hard. Because if you being honest, you probably torn yourself. On one side, you have a man with a medical condition. Tourette syndrome is real. Some people with Tourette syndrome experience coprolalia, which can involve involuntary utterances of offensive words. That is a documented medical phenomenon, not a myth. What happened on that stage wasn't just awkward. It was a collision of histories, collision of identities, and how we talk about it matters. If we rush to accuse, we risk being unfair. If we rush to dismiss, we risk being cold. The mature response sits in the middle. It acknowledges the medical reality and it acknowledges the cultural weight. It demands better preparation and better aftercare. And it recognizes that even unintentional moments can leave lasting impressions. This was a strange situation, a difficult one. Not clean, not simple. But conversations like this are how we get better. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. Established Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.